Stop! It is not that kind of spin. This is a story about how the Democrat Party is managing the border crisis and how they are spinning it to make it look like it's not their fault. I was watching Ben Shapiro for the Daily Wire commentating on Kamala Harris, who apparently is going to be in charge of the border crisis, speaking about help is here because they campaign on the slogan of help is on the way. Really? How so? If their own policies have helped the business in the United States of America. But what I was more interested in at that moment, at least, was how AOC tried to spin their own mess to attribute it maybe to Republicans. I'm not sure.
And people want to say, why aren't you talking about the border crisis? Or why aren't you talking about it in this way? Well, we're talking about it. They just don't like how we're talking about it. Because it's not a border crisis. It's an imperialism crisis. It's a climate crisis. It's a trade crisis.
Hello, I am Red General, and this is Red Face Army. We'll talk about this lunatic in a second. But first, if you can, help this channel grow by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Turn on the notifications. Some of you remember this. How AOC pretended to cry on camera so she could point out the inhumane treatment in the facilities that she couldn't see through that fence. She almost burst into flames. Now, since this idiot is in power, she sings a different song.
And people want to say, why aren't you talking about the border crisis? Or why aren't you talking about it in this way? Well, we're talking about it. They just don't like how we're talking about it. Because it's not a border crisis. It's an imperialism crisis. It's a climate crisis. It's a trade crisis. Anyone who's using the term surge around you consciously is trying to invoke a militaristic frame. And that's a problem because this is not a surge. These are children and they are not insurgents and we are not being invaded.
How do I start this without sounding patronizing? I'm not even gonna address the climate change argument because it's ridiculous. What I will do is I'm gonna address the argument in two parts. One of the things Ben Shapiro said about my first point is an electric power surge a militaristic term? Obviously, a surge is a dramatic increment of something. But to make it work for her purpose, AOC changes the term for insurgency as if it was a synonym, to say that people are using it in a militaristic term. But it's actually her framing it in a militaristic way. It's not her critics. Why? To demonize Republicans. So no one concentrates in the horrible job that Biden is doing to manage this crisis he created in the first place. I feel ridiculous asking this question. How is this an imperialist crisis? Is she saying that Joe Biden and the Democrats are imperialists? Ben Shapiro addresses it with the sarcasm the borders didn't invade them. As far as I can remember, it was Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, who invited them. And now they are stuck in an overcrowded facility. Crisis is at the level where a Democratic mayor asked Joe Biden to stop bringing people in. He asked because there's no resources. So then you have to ask yourself these questions. Like I said, is she accusing her own party of being imperialist? Or is she blaming Republicans for the mess of her own party? Now, my second point. Where are the solutions? It is all a hit piece dedicated to blame Republicans in order to not answer the real question. She can't claim compassion now because the Democrats are in power and they are making a bigger mess than anything we have seen before. Now she's a full-blown politician. And I don't know if you know that, but that fence is kind of far from where the facilities are. So she couldn't see there what she claimed to see. She's manipulating us using our own emotions to keep the power. Her two statements and arguments oppose each other. She can be telling the truth in both arguments. She must be lying in one of them or either in both of them, but not telling the truth. That's it for now. I'm about to puke. See you guys later. May God bless.